Hi, and welcome to the Balanced Body Athletic Training Podcast. My name is Chrissy Romani-Ruby, and this is Zach. And today we are filming from PHI Pilates Studio in Pittsburgh. Zach and I are going to show you an exercise today that is great for groin strains. So it's actually maybe better to prevent groin strains than actually to do when they have a groin strain. So we're going to use this a lot with sports like football, and that's actually probably the main athlete that I use it for. They need to gain some flexibility and some control in those deep adductors and also the pelvic floor muscles. So we're going to use the Clara barrel. And Zach, if you want to go ahead and lie down here. Zach's going to come up, he's going to lay supine, he'll slide in toward the barrel. So getting on, they just want to lay down and then slide in. It's sometimes hard to get in there, but once they get set, they'll be fine. The knees are going to pull to the chest. And then when you look at your client, you want to see their sitting bones or their ischial tuberosities pointing up to the ceiling. They should have a round lumbar spine. So I'll tell my athletes, reach your hand under your low back, make sure that your back is rounded, and throughout the entire exercise, we want to keep that back rounded to protect the spine. So we're going to have those abdominals firing a little bit, those sitting bones pointing up to the ceiling. So Zach will begin by extending his legs straight up to the ceiling. We're going to do a very familiar exercise first. It's called scissors. It's going to help us stretch hip flexors and hamstrings. So Zach, just want you to think about dropping one leg down toward the barrel and one towards your face to wherever you feel you can hold your knees straight. We're going to look at those VMOs, make sure they stay on so that those legs are really reaching. And then we'll take a look at the ASIS. So if I put my thumbs on the ASIS, generally the leg that's falling over the face will drop toward their head. We're going to ask them then to take that sitting bone and reach it to the inner thigh. So we'll actually tilt the pelvis and then drop it again. And you want them to practice this. So inhale and reach, exhale and drop. And we're actually working their pelvic floor against gravity. Let's do another one. You're going to reach and then drop. So I'm turning his pelvis like a doorknob. Okay, now let's go ahead and reach and stay, Zach. So we want them to hold that and switch their scissor. So we're going to switch the scissor, keeping the legs straight, keeping the low back rounded, and do the same thing on the other side. We're going to reach that sitting bone toward inner thigh and then drop. So Zach is reaching it toward his inner thigh and then dropping it back down. One more time. And just having them rehearse this, they find those muscles, learn how to use them. Now reach and hold. And now we're just going to do a regular scissor. He's going to try to hold that stable. So inhale. Good. And then exhale. Breath with each motion. And what we're doing, go ahead and keep them going, one and then the other. What we're trying to do here is give him stability not only in the sagittal plane with the round low back, but in the frontal plane to not see that pelvis twisting all around. Okay? Very good. Now we're going to hold the scissor this way and we'll move into even a deeper stretch. Important with this one that we keep that round low back. Zach's going to go into helicopter. So this leg is going to reach out to the side and make a V. Good. And we're going to keep him turned straight on, no rotation in his hips. And then come around again to scissor the other direction. Now when he gets to this point, we recheck, make sure that he's still reaching in his pelvis, and come around to the V the other way. We're going to keep that low back rounded. Here's where they like to lose it. And then come around to the scissor again and hold. And we would go back and forth slowly. These should never be done quickly. You can go ahead and bring your legs back to neutral. Then you'll have them bend their knees, pull them into their chest. To get out, Zach will push his spine corrector away with his hands, roll on his side, and come up. So like I said, most important is that these are not done fast. Especially we have an athlete that has heavy legs. They have a lot of muscle build in their legs. They're tight. We get them up there. We don't want them swinging through helicopter at high rates of speed, or we're going to end up straining the groin rather than stretching it. So everything needs to be slow and in good alignment, and we need to see that lumbar spine stay in flexion to protect it. The last thing we want is a shearing of the lumbar spine by the hip flexor. So give this a try with those athletes that are prone to those groin strains, and we'll see you again for the next podcast.